Hello, Jon.
Hey.
And you're going to be telling us about Qlipso and your involvement. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. So before Qlipso, I started a video game company with buddies from college, and we eventually became the largest independent video game developer in the world. And that was a great ride. And we used to come here all the time for the E3 EXPO. And so I'm not unfamiliar with this crowd. We'd go to Comic-Con and see the guys dressed up and whatnot. After we sold that company, I ran it for a couple of years and then left. And a friend of mine who used to run Sony Pictures Digital said, come check out some of these companies in Israel, actually. And I came across the company that's now Qlipso and got involved with that. And originally, it was going to be a multiplayer game on the web, and I had seen lots of that in the video game business and thought, well, this is actually a pretty crowded space and there's some leaders here. And it struck me that one of the most non-social places on the web, in spite of everything going social, was content, like videos, music, that sort of thing. And so we decided to create a multi-user experience around content. And along the way, we came across this opportunity to buy the assets of Veoh, which at one point was this really high-flying video portal. Kind of started before YouTube and Hulu and all that stuff, and it still had a huge international audience. And one of the most passionate audiences on Veoh happens to be anime fans, so that's why I'm here. And we let people get together online, see the same video. Like you and I could be someplace else, get online, see a sports game, see a movie, whatever it is, see each other, talk to each other, just like we're doing now. But we can also see each other's avatars, high-five one another, we can text chat. So it's a pretty cool and unique social experience that kind of recreates your living room or a comedy club or a sports event.
Oh, very nice. Now tell us, I know Qlipso is very unique. And how does that relay with Veoh and other platforms online?
Well, it works with a lot of different Flash content. So to get a little bit technical for a second, whenever you go to a video site, there's a player engine, and that allows you to play, stop, pause, fast forward, do all that stuff. And so our idea is, well, we'll substitute in our engine, which happens to be more social. So it does all that stuff, play, stop, pause. It just allows you to do it with your friends. So you can get together and see each other at the same time, synchronize the videos so you're seeing the same thing at the same time and socializing with each other. So it'll be pretty seamless from the standpoint of the user. They'll just feel like this is a player engine. If they want to watch it by themselves, they can. If they want to bring in friends, they can do that too.
Oh, okay. Now tell us about what is ahead for online video and ads on the internet.
Well, I think that playing into what we're trying to do, everybody's trying to capture some of the excitement around social interaction on the web. And so if you're an advertiser, it's really good to be able to reach groups of friends. That's called buddy advertising. And so if you and your buddies see an ad for, a Toyota Scion or something like that, or not a Toyota Scion, a Scion, right. And you think that's pretty cool and you say it's cool, that's really valuable to Toyota. And then it also allows us to bring some of the cool stuff you see in multiplayer gaming to advertisers as well. So for example, instead of a triangular play button, you can have a Dorito-shaped play button. Instead of just saying Nike shoes are cool, you can sell virtual Nike shoes for avatars, and maybe that makes your avatar dance better or jump higher. So it allows a different way for advertisers to get their point across. And then of course we've got all the same sort of advertising you see now, which is pre-roll ads and and that sort of thing. So that's what there is for advertisers. And then I think for users, there's just that opportunity to connect with people that they've clearly expressed a desire to do. You know, even my mom's on Facebook, so that's got to tell you something.
So you're really pushing the social interactiveness of Qlipso.
Correct.
And you're using Veoh as a vehicle for that as well?
Right, so Veoh is, so think of it as that brings an audience already. The reason we bought that asset is because it's got this large global audience. One thing I was completely surprised by is we're one of the largest sites in Japan, and didn't know that. We've got millions of users in the US and in Europe. So if you're a little social media startup like Qlipso was, it's hard to find millions of people, you know, to discover you. So we buy this site, and it allows us to bring this technology to the site and introduce it to millions of users, which is a pretty unique opportunity.
Oh, very nice. Now, tell me a little bit about the name Qlipso. Where was that inspiration?
So that was sort of, you know, it's always hard to find a name, and particularly now to find a name that you can actually register a website for. And the actual, you know, developer, inventor of the Qlipso technology came across this firefly in Malaysia called the Qlip. And the Qlip can synchronize its blasts of light so that it actually looks like Christmas lights, you know, pinging like this. And I was doing some business in Malaysia this spring, and I actually got to see it, and it's incredible. You go through this dense jungle, kind of like the Jungle Cruise at Disney, in these quiet boats with no engine so you don't disturb the animals, and there are just millions of fireflies blinking in unison. It's a sight like you can't believe. And so we thought that was a great analogy for what we're doing, is we're synchronizing people and pixels across the internet so that they're seeing the same thing in each other at the same time in this social experience. And then also the sound clip, you know, makes sense in terms of video clips and music clips and those sort of things. So that's how we came up with the name.
Oh, very nice. Now, I know you were the one of the founders, or the founders of Foundation 9.
Right.
Is that now? Did you bring some of those individuals over with you to Qlipso, the ones from college?
No, so my college friends, so there were a bunch of us, and you know, everybody, you know, sort of left in one way or another after we sold the company. My buddies from college, one guy lives on the beach in Hawaii and does all sorts of fun stuff, but as far as I can tell, he, you know, paddles his kayak every day. And then another buddy has a, you know, development studio where he's making games for sort of small platforms like the iPhone and whatnot up in Newfoundland. Other guys are making, you know, secret iPhone games down in Newport Beach. One of the guys turned into a very talented day trader. So just guys spread out all over the place doing stuff after making video games. But this crew that I'm working with is really, you know, the R&D team is in Israel. They're all like relatively young guys, and I've got some community management and whatnot in the US. And by the way, if anybody's listening to this and really looking for a Japanese-speaking teen or 20-something to help with community management in Japan. So if you're interested in the Anime Expo, hopefully you'll get in touch with me.
Oh, very nice. So you're the only one that's kind of continued since Foundation 9 in the same type of avenue.
No, these other guys are making games. They're just doing it. So I think this is a little bit of a different space than video games. So what we were really doing at Foundation 9 was package software, you know, for Xbox and PlayStation and DS and those things. So this is more of, you know, a digital media type thing. You know, it's a video portal in Veoh and this social media technology. So I think I've taken a bit of a turn from what I was doing before.
Oh, very nice. Are you thinking of merging it all together, Veoh and Qlipso?
Absolutely. So that is the idea. So if you go to Veoh right now, which is VEOH, sort of a strange spelling, and you play a video, you click on the play button, and there'll be a little button now that says, you know, share this live with friends. And then in the fall, there'll be more of a redesign so that instead of looking like a regular video portal, it'll have rooms and feature people. It will really put the social engagement up in the top level, as opposed to, you know, most video sites have a bunch of thumbnails of videos to look at. and we want people to really be focused on hanging out with each other.
Oh, well, very nice. Why don't you give us your web addresses, and that way people can click on that and then go visit you there.
Sure. It's www.veoh, which is veoh.com, and that's the only web address you need to go to check this stuff out.
Oh, perfect. Jon, hey, thank you very much. You know, we look forward to talking to you.
Until morning come, we know where the party there.
Hey mama, la fiesta comenzó, vámonos pa' mi cama. Ese panty sobra, también mi corbata. Voy a hacértelo como hacer limonada. Fácil de preparar y no me...